pretty sure we're live. I believe we are. Let me scroll down and let's make sure that we are. How are you all doing? I'm just going to assume that we are, and we'll go from there. First and foremost, just want to see, can you guys see me? Can you hear me all right? Hopefully you can, fingers crossed anyway. And, yeah, here we go. All right, I see myself on the little screen right there. Pretty sure we are live. So, welcome one and all to this, well, since it's December 30th, 2018, the pre-New Year's Eve live stream, as if I actually would be doing a stream on New Year's Eve, which I'm probably not. So, this is just the last video that I think I'm going to be doing for the year 2018, and, yeah, it's just a live stream. I'm just going to be here for, I don't really know how long I'll be here for, but, yeah, I'm just going to be here, going to be answering some questions, doing some Q&A, some miscellaneous talk, just hanging out with all of you for, it all depends. Maybe 30 minutes, maybe less, maybe more, maybe an hour. I really can't say. But we'll just be, here doing the live stream. And, yeah, first and foremost, welcome. Just trying to set it up. I haven't done a live stream in a long time. It's been a while. It sure has. I see the chat going. Hi to everyone who's checking in. We are indeed live. So, yeah, what are we going to be talking about tonight? Not really much. I'm just going to be taking your questions, your comments, and that's about it. Maybe we'll be looking back at 2018, kind of be doing a little bit of a reflection, a year in review. Who's to say? We'll maybe take a look at what's going to be coming up for the year 2019, right? The big 2019 coming in. For those of you who are curious, we do indeed have the chat on the slow mode. The only reason, of course, is because some people, they just go a little crazy and they try to spam the chat, and it is what it is. But that's just why it's, it is set to that setting. So anyway, thank you to everyone who's checking in. Hello to all of you. Lots of comments coming in, and we'll try our best to get to them. One good way, and I always emphasize this, it's one of those things that I like to get out there at the beginning of every live stream. Of course, one good way, and it could really be anything. You want to ask a question, you want to make a comment, a suggestion, you want to just do a shout out, whatever. And I know, sometimes you see the chat, it just goes a little fast. One good way that is able to outline whatever your message is, and it's also able to help out this channel, and especially the radio show, airtime ain't cheap, as they say, is by doing the super chat. Something I highly suggest, mutually beneficial. Really check it out, and it's a really good way to just kind of, get it out there, and get whatever you have to say out there to the world. So, yeah, just sit back, relax. I'm taking a preliminary sip of water right here. We got a few super chats coming in already, and let's just get to them, and then after that we'll just see what everyone's talking about in the chat. Pretty much this is like the online equivalent of open phones. We're just going to be taking your comments, your questions, suggestions, and shoutouts. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the last video of 2018, at least on this channel anyway. So let's see what we've got here. Patrick Starr is checking in. He says, I told you I'm donating. Well, thank you, Mr. Starr. George Peach checking in. He says, hi, Reviewbrah. How was your 2018? I thought it was a good year. I thought 2018 was a good year, both personally, especially for the channel and the radio show. You could look at the algorithm, and it's got its ups and its downs and everything in between. But it's really I thought it was a solid year. So thank you for your question, George. Really appreciate it. Let's see who else is checking in. Joe, he wanted a shout out. He said, can you give a shout out to my man Joe from Journeys? All right, shout out to Joe. Let's see, Mustafa checking in. Reviewbrah, why don't you ever review Shake Shack? You never seem to mention it. Do you consider it too high-end for your channel? Could you explain? Thanks, Happy New Year. I just wanted to read that like it was an impassioned, question. but it's all in jest. The reason why I've never reviewed Shake Shack, and this also goes down to places like Whataburger and Jack in the Box, is because there just isn't one nearby. It's one of those things that it's not close by enough that I can review it. So as a result, when it's not nearby and I just can't find myself in a spot to try it out, I just can't. But if I ever do find myself in that position to give it a review, well then that's what's going to happen, and I'll try it out gleefully, with absolute joy. All right. Semper Fi checking in. Have you ever thought of purchasing a Western suit? Now, by what do you mean in regards to a Western suit? Because that has multiple meanings. Of course, you can say in regards to Western, like a cowboy suit, or do you mean in regards to like Western business attire? Because if that's the case, that's what I wear every single day. As to going all out with like a cowboy suit and the chaps with a rear, none of that stuff, and like maybe a what is that, a bolo tie and the hat. I don't know. I can't really see myself donning that anytime soon, but well, I mean, you never know. I mean, you never know what'll happen one day. Who knows? Maybe just something will click up there, and I'll suddenly just wear that every day. I don't know. Let's see what else is coming in here. Let's see. Brandon Ramos, hello to you. He said, on Halloween, the guitarist from the band Sunflower Bean dressed up as you. Have you checked out their music since? Back during Halloween, some people on the Instagram did point me out to that, and I checked out their music, thought it was pretty solid. Let's see. Arian, hopefully the name is right. Hey, brah, what should I eat for dinner at Pizza Hut? Whatever you want. I always go with the pan pizza nowadays. It's a favorite. Though if you're feeling the stuffed crust, go for it too. And maybe try out some wings, some of those infamous Wing Street wings tonight. Alright, we're just getting to your super chats, then we're just going to, again, just do some miscellaneous discussion, some talk, and let's just keep it going, dear viewers and listeners. My main 11 checking in, hello to you. Shannon is reporting in. She says, I appreciate your existence so much. How did you start your radio show? You're amazing. The radio show just came about because it was something that I really wanted to do for such a long time. And I know right now, like a lot of people do not give I was going to say something else, so you know what, about the show. But it's something that I put a lot of effort to because it's something that I enjoy doing. So I put a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of effort and dedication into it. And it was just a matter of the financial resources at first. You got to buy the airtime to get it on the air. And being able to record the shows, I was doing kind of an online derivative of it for the longest time. And then finally, all right, got the airtime, got it set up, and it just went from there. And it was just, it still is an amazing thing. We got it on some great radio stations, and it goes out to a lovely audience. Who else do we have checking in? Andy the King is saying, what is your favorite reviewed item? Oh gosh. How about we just keep that one for 2018? That one thing from Panda Express really got me. It's funny. It was my favorite. I don't even remember the remember the name of it yet. The one thing was like the I don't know, the barbecue chicken or something. But either way, that thing was delicious, man. I mean, that was awesome. That took me by surprise. I thought it was going to be another run-of-the-mill type of thing, but it was incredible. I know I reviewed it about like 2.5 months ago. Whatever that Panda Express one was, it was awesome. It was probably my favorite of 2018. Supreme Meme, we got the memesters checking in. He says, hello, Father. Zach Jones reporting in, talk about the Haunted Mansion. Well, it's a wonderful Disney ride. Love it. Love the aesthetic. Probably the best there is. I gotta give it credit. Adam Walsh, hello to you, Adam. Pulse Reloaded, that was in all caps. He's, for extra emphasis. Real life Stewie Griffin. Well, believe it or not, I remember when I was in middle school, someone said the same thing to me there. How old are you? I'm in my 20s. You know, that's all that there is to it. Some people say that I'm anywhere between 15 and 75. So I think 20s is a good midpoint for that. Anyway, let's see who else we got. We're just gonna skip that one. That was just some weird emoji which appeared to be a dog passing gas. Well, thank you for the enlightenment, dear viewer. What else do we have? Antisocials is checking in. What was your favorite video you filmed this year? Gosh, yeah, that's a tough question because we went through a lot of videos this year. We did a lot, filmed a lot. I would, oh gosh. I mean, the React ones were very fun to do. I gotta tell you that. The you know, like the React to the mean comments one, all those were so much fun. So those were a lot of fun to do. I liked doing the random ones too. One of my favorites that I think is kind of, underrated isn't the right word for it, because when you say it's underrated, that's like assuming that it's actually good. Were the videos where I kind of just talk about radio. So the state of shortwave in 2019, or 2018, liked doing that one. Why I do the radio show, that was another one, and what I'm obsessed with. All the radio-related ones were fun, but I think the like the React to mean comment ones, I know those were super fun to make, and a lot of people enjoyed them. All right, what else do we have here? Let's see. Laura checking in. She says, "Do you enjoy 80s new wave music?" Oh yeah, 80s is great. A lot of the older stuff is awesome. Yeah, new wave I'm fine with. Lately I've been going with an alternative indie kick in regards to music, but yeah, that new wave is great. Let's see what else. Ace of Hearts checking in. Do you have a favorite tie? I do have a favorite tie, and I have a large tie collection which has been amassed over the millennia. But one of my favorite ties, I haven't worn it too much, maybe I'll wear it again soon, is this striped tie, and it's like black and blue, and it's got these stripes on it, and it's a great tie. You know, I think it's just a beautiful tie in and of itself. Got some really good, just personal significance. That's got to be my favorite tie, though. But there's so many good ones out there. Let's see who else we have checking in. Michael Hopper checking in. Hello to you, Michael. Cameron. Hello, Cameron. He says, "Hey, Reviewbrah, could you give a shout out to Ellen Menny and tell her she's fantastic?" On behalf of Cameron, that message has been delivered. Skylar checking in also. He says, "What's your most favorite video you've ever made?" I think we kind of touched upon that a little earlier. Cam, it's a good, alright, well, thank you for the enlightenment, Cam. Sounds like you had one heck of a night there. Hopefully you were listening to VORW Radio International on the shortwave in the background while that was going on. Let's see what else we have. This listener, or this viewer, I guess, been meaning to donate for some time. 2 questions. What do you enjoy most about your broadcasts? I enjoy the whole thing. I mean, I don't think there's anything I don't enjoy about the radio shows. I enjoy making the show. I enjoy recording it. I enjoy picking out the music. Even editing the thing together, that's fun too. Seeing it, even sending it out to the radio stations, having the signal transmitted around the world, and then seeing who picks it up, who writes in, and all the feedback that comes in week to week. So it's just an enjoyable experience from start to finish. So I know, Buggo, you're saying, what's the worst thing? I'm getting to it. Do not fret, my friend. But the whole thing. And number 2, he said, "Do you have any advice for aspiring YouTubers?" Just keep this in mind. There is a lot of competition out there, and the algorithm on YouTube has a big role to play in that. There's no getting around it. You're going to have a lot of competition in whatever it is that you do, and a lot of people say you got to do something that's going to make you stand out in whatever field that you are, whatever you're creating content in. And like you could do everything from the book, right? You could get good camera, good lighting, good thumbnails, and where are the views? You don't see the views coming in at all. I think the best thing you can have that could perhaps separate you from any competition, again, if you're trying to just get up there and you're trying to get any attention on YouTube, is to have that passion. Don't feel like you're sitting in front of a camera forcing yourself to spew out one thing or another because that's what I have to do, because that's what, I think is going to get me the views. I don't really give a what about it. I just think that's going to get me views. That's not the way to do it. You got to be doing something that you're passionate about. And if you have that passion, you have that dedication, that drive and that morale, I'm not saying that it's going to get you anywhere, but I think that's the best place to kind of plant that seed, and from there, people might find it. The audience isn't stupid. They're going to be able to smell it out and see this guy is legit. He really cares about what he's talking about. And that's, I think, what you got to do. You just have to really care and be passionate about what you're doing on the YouTube. So thank you for your questions. Great to have you here. Let's see. Ferris is checking in. What chain do you think made the biggest improvement, had the best food in the year 2018? Shout out to Sean Ranklin. Shout out to you, Sean. I'm more on the, and this is kind of like a made-up word, but you know what I mean. I'm more on the criticistic side of things when it comes down to fast food. More often than not, I notice a lot of things more in decline than anything else, to be honest. But there's a few places out there that are they're still doing good. They're still pretty solid, I would say. And I think at this point, almost every single establishment, like over the last year, has a few hits and a few misses, right? Like you look at Taco Bell, well, man, they had the nacho fries. Those things were excellent. They had that one, whatever it was, that one burrito that was out a couple months ago. That thing was awesome. Now they got some things that aren't good, and you could do that with any chain. I think everything is kind of in a bit of a stasis, and that's just what we got. So let's see what else we're doing. I'm just going to ignore, one guy was saying the microphone isn't working, but I'm just going to ignore that. I figure if it really wasn't working, then we would be hearing a lot more. Let me just do a quick sound check while I'm at it, and we'll see. If I'm going to be here for a while, we want to make sure we have sound. Now I hear myself. People are just trolling around, and if you're just going to sit here and watch me silently speak, then well, that's fine too. You can just read my lips, and we'll keep it going. So yeah, let's just see what else is coming in. Ben Northern Lights checking in. All of Colorado says hi, and I say hello back to Colorado. Joe checking in. A review would be wild, but you should check out the band Triple Backflip Committee. All the members are huge fans of the channel. Yeah, I'll check them out. I wonder what genre they are. Yeah, I'll check them out if I get the free time. I'll see what they're all about. Angel is checking in from, I believe, California. Let's just scroll back up. Let's see what we got. Sorry, I lost my spot. Anthony says, "Are you a time traveler asking for a friend?" Well, I made a video recently. Actually, that was was covering that. Really recommend you check it out, and I think it kind of explains everything. So you should check it out. Celestial Marmalade, what a name. Hey, Bri, I know you're a radio guy, but do you sometimes watch films? Sometimes. On occasion, I do. I can't say that I've really watched a movie in a while, honestly. Like sometimes, I don't know, I've been meaning to watch them, but I don't know, the time, it just never comes to me. Great film that I did see for the first time in 2018, 18 was Harold and Maude. You know, that's going back to the 70s, I'm pretty sure, but what a great film that was. Beautiful film. Skylar is checking in. Hello to you, sir. Peter as well. Hello, Peter. Star Destroyer M3. Pretty sure that's the name. Hello to you. This listener, whose name just seems to be random letters, welcome in. Asks, do you play any games? And any games? I've been playing mini clips 8-ball pool lately on the PC, going old school there. But I've really been playing that lately. And I stocked up. I bought a new pool cue, going with the Czar cue, because it's got some really good aim, adds 7 seconds to the shot, and yeah, that's what I've been doing. Just yeah, I'm a pool god, as they like to say. Let's see who else is checking in. Jasmine, hello to you, Jasmine. Charles, my apologies. Carls. I always want to make sure I get the names right. Your perspicacity is commendable, man. What did you read growing up? What was your shortwave moment that got you into it? When I was growing up, I was reading a bit of everything, to be honest. You know, of course, you remember as a kid, you know, R.L. Stine, Goosebumps, all that. That was, that man. Those were always. That was something. I'm just picking my brain. I could tell you right now, the thing that got me into the shortwave, which I think got a lot of people into it, was like the number stations. UVB 76, right? You're hearing about the infamous Russian buzzer on 4625. You don't even know what the heck shortwave radio is, right? You think it's like the same thing as streaming radio online. And you're reading about it, you think this station has just been making this tone since the 60s or whatever, and maybe there's just some creep in Siberia who's got this thing in his basement, or what if it's got, you know, zombies, or what about the nukes, you know, what if it's tied to the New World Order, and as soon as it stops, all the nukes are going to fly and everything's going to get blown up, right? You get all these theories about it, and that mystery, though, because when you hear about UVB 76, you don't really know what shortwave radio is, so you check about it, and it's just fascinating. And then I found this online shortwave radio, and that's just how I kind of went down the rabbit hole, so to speak. Now, in reality, UVB 76 is just a channel marker by the Russian military. It's just that they keep this frequency occupied, so if anything goes down, no one else is going to be able to transmit on it, and they can get orders out to various, you know, military, whatever, factions and deployments and all of that. So that's what UVB 76 really is. Alright, who else do we have reporting in? Let's see. OS checking in. Hey, Reviewbrah, currently donning the hoodie. It's awesome. Yeah, repping the merch. In your opinion, what type of cheese is the best? Well, I always like that cheese that comes in the individual. You know, actually, scratch that. I like the stuff that's out of the can, Cheese Whiz, because you got to think of it this way: what other product can you get that is like whipped cream, but it really isn't? So it's got to be that synthetic garbage that comes out of the can that'll probably kill you in 20 years. That's got to be my favorite type of cheese. Mr. Toasty, great to hear from you. Says, Brock, can you please say Happy New Year's, Patrick? It has been said. Lucas is reporting in. What's the worst thing you have ever reviewed? Greetings from Argentina. Hello to you, Lucas. And hello to all of our Argentinian viewers and listeners and subscribers out there. Worst thing I ever reviewed. For a while, it was the grilled stuffed nacho from Taco Bell. I remember I was in a state about that thing. And now I remember the worst thing that I think I ever tried out was actually one of the artisan sandwiches from McDonald's, believe it or not. Yeah, it was one of the artisan chicken sandwiches from McDonald's because it was so. And this was by far the worst thing I ever reviewed. It was to the point where it was inedible. Where I took a bite and it was like a piece of rubber. It was so bad actually. I remember I had to write a letter to the management and to corporate just because it was that bad. So that's probably the worst thing I ever reviewed. Had to be. That came down to individual preparation, but as a result of that individual preparation, it made it terrible. Absolutely terrible. Alright, who else do we have checking in? Let's make our way down the list here. Dark Alchemist reporting in. Hello to you, sir. Raymond, what would you pick as your last meal? I really wouldn't know. Part of me would like to say a nice steak dinner, but part of me would just say whatever I'm kind of hungry for at that given time. Because, like, if you're really hungry for pizza, right, and then you just get yourself a steak, I mean, you probably would have enjoyed that pizza more. So I don't know, whatever I'm really feeling at the time. Mark Rooney, what's your favorite Oasis song other than Wonderwall? Oh, I like them all. I mean, I like all the Oasis stuff. First one that came to mind, of course. I mean, honestly, any of their discography. It could be anything. I was listening to All Around the World. That's a long song. That one is probably what 7, 9 minutes long. That's great. Cigarettes and Alcohol. That's another good one. Don't Look Back in Anger. Digsy's Dinner. They're not a big fan of that one, but I've always liked that one. Man, their whole discography is awesome. Even their 2000 stuff, and then you go to their after they broke up. Even the other ones, what was it? Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds or something. One of those groups. That was awesome. I mean, just everything they produce, I like it. Okay, let's see who else we got. Jim is checking in. Hi, Jim. Tanner says, we just got engaged. Congratulations to you, Tanner. John is checking in. Mr. John Allen. Well, we lost your Reviewbrah 2020. yeah, right. David, he was asking about the buzzer. Well, we just answered that, so I hope the answer was sufficient, David. Faith Hope 21 checking in. I'm curious, is there any place we could read your short stories? Not yet. I do hope to publish a compendium of them one day. We got another memester checking in. Pepe Meme Frog, right? Checking in. Darian reporting in. Hello, Darian. Skylar, he wants me to come to his wedding. Well, thank you for the invitation, Skylar. On one, we're going to be getting to more of your questions. One thing that it reminded me, because sometimes I just kind of get caught up. I like reading and responding to anything that comes in. One thing that just came to mind that I just want to get out there, because, a few messages back, an individual wrote in and was talking about how they had the Reviewbrah hoodie on. And I wanted to get this out there because otherwise I'm going to forget it. I got the Teespring store where you can be repping the Reviewbrah merch, right? You could just show up to work one day with the Disappointment is Immeasurable shirt, or better yet, the Trust in Reviewbrah shirt. Everyone's gonna be looking. They're gonna be bowing down at your feet. If you ever just gotta find something to sneeze into or wipe the floor into with style and finesse. Check out my merchandise. We got a special New Year sale, believe it or not. You could find the link to it in the description, pinned comment. I believe it's a 19% discount. Gotta have the special discount code though for it to work. But 19% discount on any merch, for the year 2019. Wanted to be kind of creative. It's a good deal, maybe you're a little broke, a little short of cash right now, but you want to get that Trust in Reviewbrah mug. Now is your chance to do it, so check it out. We just got the code right there in the chat. Check it out if you're interested. Just a good opportunity. And I just wanted to get it out there before I forget, because I get forgetful, and I figure, all right, I'm thinking about it, just get it out there now. water break, resumption of just any feedback coming in. Hope you guys are enjoying the show so far. I sure am. And yeah, just keep the questions coming. And yeah, super chats are welcome. Like I said, great way to help out this channel and the radio broadcast especially. We got the radio show on some really good stations, WRMI and WWCR. Great signal, great audience, expensive airtime, so your help is appreciated, and it gets your shout out to the world and to my eyes even quicker. NK is checking in. He says, PewDiePie Rewind versus YouTube Rewind, your thoughts? You know, the whole YouTube Rewind thing, I remember I feel like I'm some aged grandpa talking about this now, but I'll just go for it. Oh, I remember the YouTube Rewind. I was sitting there on the couch, and I was, I don't know, for some reason, I was checking on the Twitter, and I found out that the YouTube Rewind was coming out today, and they were doing the premieres thing, so I sat through it, and I watched it, and I mean, that's all that there is to it. I think, here's why I don't think I really feel strongly about it in any way, shape, or form. Because I really didn't, you know, I don't know. It just was what it was. I totally understand why a lot of people were really disappointed in it, you know. But I'm just not one of those people that, I don't know, I just didn't really feel like I suddenly wanted to, you know, go riot or something afterwards. I kind of watched it and I was just like, all right, you know, well, there it is. That's the Rewind. You know, but I completely understand that a lot of people really weren't fans of it because, you know, they wanted to see something in it that really wasn't there. And so I get it, and that's really my thoughts on the Rewind. So yeah, let's just see what else is coming in. Captain Toastbrat, greetings from Germany, my friend, and hello to you back. And let's see what else is coming in. Getting back to those super chats. Patrick Starr checking in again. Thank you, Patrick. Mako, if you visit Canada, you need to try the fries supreme we have at Taco Bell. That sounds interesting. I'm legitimately curious, though. And maybe you could get back to me on this one. Is this just like a type of French fries that's like, you know, the nacho fries? Because, you know, when you hear about Canada, everyone likes to talk about the poutine fries. Is this kind of Taco Bell's variation on that? Or is it just like one of those things that it says, no, it's more Southwestern inspired? So if you could get back to me on that, I'd be really interested there. Let's see what else we got coming in. The Armchair Historian. Hello to you, sir. Says, report of the week. How's it been this week? What kind of suit is that? Well, it is no. I'm not wearing a suit, actually. I'm just going with kind of casual attire. I've got a dress shirt on. Got a necktie. I always like this tie. And then I just got a shawl, cardigan, sweater going. I guess I'll just break out the shoes. Why not? And then with that, you can see, I'm going to get up for a second. I've got a bunch of pillows behind me so I can kind of stay propped up more because this is at a little bit of an angle, and if I sit back, my head will be like this. And yeah, you'll just see I just have some dark gray, triple pleated dress pants going back to the 90s, and just some standard shoes and socks. Let me just show them for you real quick so you can see. Right here, there's the pants, and there's the shoes, and that was a piece of dust. So, there you have it. Just going casual today. Wanted to kind of keep warm a little bit, and just comfortable. Wanted to don some comfortable attire for the live stream tonight. Luna Eclipse Gaming, can I have a shout out? You've been shouted out. Alrighty. Let's see what else we got coming in. I see that there's a little bit of a delay on the preview screen that I'm looking at. Oh, don't tell me I didn't. No, there I am showing. Oh, I didn't show the shoes off all the way. Oh, bummer. Oh, man. Talk about a missed opportunity right there. Oh, well. John Allen, Do you eat sushi with your fingers like me? It depends on the circumstances. Cam, the cam man, the cam, 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 the cam man, cam. More shouts and love from the 303. Scott, hello all the way from Scotland, Reviewbrah. So much love for you. Thank you, Scott. Really appreciate it. Great to hear from our viewers over in Scotland. E4A checking in. Have a happy new year. Happy new year to you as well. Be safe and hope 2019 ends up being a good one for you. Haley is checking in. She said, good evening, Reviewbrah. How are you enjoying your Taco Bell gaming system? Alright. This is one of those things that I knew people were going to ask about, and I'm gonna clear it right now. All right. I was thinking about it for a while because when I first got it, it was one of those things that was really weird for me. I have to be honest with you. It was really weird because what Taco Bell usually does is they'll send the bag of chips, and at first they sent this bag of like their potato chips or whatever that they were promoting at 7-Eleven. They sent it to the wrong address, and I just let them know, a correction with that. So, all right, this package from Taco Bell arrives, and I thought it was just more of these potato chips for this, this promo that they were having, but it felt unusually heavy to me. So I did the review for the drink, and I thought I was just going to unbox it, kind of show off these potato chips. But as I was opening it, I was kind of thinking to myself, what the hell is, what is this? It was just way too big. And I saw that it was this Xbox gaming system. Now, keep in mind, I am not a gamer. I am, I haven't been since 2010, I would say at this point. When I was a kid, I used to play the GameCube, the Nintendo GameCube, and the PlayStation 2, and I tried around 2007 or so. Tried to get into the Nintendo Wii. Everyone had one of those though, but I don't know. There wasn't the appeal to it. So other than that, I was just doing the Flash games. So when there was this Xbox thing, at first I was like, I couldn't even comprehend it, and I tried it out. I was trying to, it just wasn't working out for me. It was one of those things like there was just that disconnect to it. So what I decided to do is I sold it, and then I donated the proceeds to the SPCA. I thought, well, if I'm not really going to really do anything with it, I want to at least try and do some good with it in the world, and that's what came with it. And hopefully that'll be able to help out, a good cause and do much, much better than having it, just sit there and really not do anything with it. So I know that might be a disappointment for some, but that's just the honest truth. Justin, funny name, Justin Case, is checking in, says Happy New Year from Justin and Karen in Silicon Valley. A Happy New Year to the both of you. Let's see who else we got. Aravik checking in. Oh, that was just the screen name. Paul. Paul from El Paso, Texas, checking in on my birthday. I've been dealing with depression for over a year, but your videos and radio show always pick me up. Thank you. Well, thank you so much, sir. Really great to hear from you. And I'm glad to help. It's one of those things, Christine W. Hello everyone and Happy New Year. Love the Time Traveler video and keep up the great work in 2019. Thank you so much for your support, your kind words, and really appreciate it. John Allen, he's really checking in. Well, thank you, John. Glad you got a lot to say tonight. He's got a story to tell. So everyone, let's settle down a little and let's see what he's got to say. He says, I once ate a hot dog. Yeah. I bet you did, John. I bet you did. All right. Let's see what else. I know what you're implying there. I'm sure. I'll take your word on it. And no further details. Justin, again, speaking of cheese, here's some more stacks of cheddar. Justin, Karen, still in Silicon Valley. Let's see. What else? Ray, I'm not a big fan of what you have to say. Enough of that. You're being blocked. Just not a fan of that kind of stuff. You know, when you do that, you're only trying to start trouble, and I highly frown upon that. Let's see what else we got. Sandra says, will you advise me the best and safest monthly what? I mean, I hope you have a very good and safe month, but I don't understand if this is some sort of vernacular that I am not up to speed with. I don't know what monthly means, but if you mean a good month up ahead, I certainly wish you a good month. HDR Pro, just in the regular chat, wanted to know what hair product I use. Brill Cream all the way. I've been a Brill Cream user since early 2013. Before that, I was doing the LA Looks hair gel, but that was alcohol based. And as a result, you want to talk about helmet hair. I mean, I am dead serious, right? Back in 2012, when I was using the what was it? The LA Looks hair gel, I was doing more like the comb over then. That's totally fine. You could tap on the hair and it would be solid. I'm sure that wasn't, I know now, well, of course, I know now that that wasn't good for the hair. But the Brill Cream is a lot better. You know, it gets that hold, but it's softer. And what I do now is I kind of just dump a ton of water on my head first, and then I put the Brill Cream in it, because even though it is not considered fashionable or stylish or sexy, you know, I like just getting my hair pressed down, slicked back, out of the way, with more of a upper middle part that maybe you would have seen 100 years ago. Not for the fact that that's how it was 100 years ago, that's just how I like it. And, you know, I haven't gone to a barber since October of 2017. I've just been cutting the hair myself. I like having the longer hair because it really stays in place a lot better than shorter hair. So, yeah, I try to take care of it, and there we go. Alrighty, we're gonna get to a few more super chats, then I have another thing that I want to tell you all about, and then we'll just get to some more Q&A. Juicetron checking in just says, I just love you and I need to donate. Well, I hope you were able to fulfill that need, and I really appreciate your support. Laura is checking in again. She says, have you ever had the chance to see Harold and Maude on the big screen? It's life-changing. No, I never did. I watched it on the computer. But like I said, it's just a wonderful movie. Very well may be my favorite, or it's definitely up there. Just a beautiful film. What else do we have going on here? Happy impending 2019. Can I get a, quote, happy birthday, Sam, from my buddy? Keep up the great content. Certainly, happy birthday, Sam. Hopefully, Sam, you know who you are. If not, this goes out to all the Sams out there. It's your birthday today. Start getting that cake, you know, and happy birthday. That monitor cord checking in. Thanks for the content, brah. Being a manager for McDonald's, it's somewhat surreal to see the food so meticulously reviewed, brah. Well, thank you. It's always a pleasure to try out the McDonald's items. A lot of people like the McDonald's review. Recently, we were trying out the one, what is it? The one burger, you know, with the mushrooms, and I think it was Swiss, right? So that was solid. It was solid. I enjoyed it. Kai is checking in. Hey, Reviewbrah, hope you're doing well. Thank you, sir. I am. I'm doing good. You know, I had a little bit of anxiety and stage fright before turning the camera on, but I'm feeling a bit better now. And hope you're doing too. Doing well too. Kai, got a little tongue twisted there. Ryan says, I love the VORW show. Appreciate all the work you put into it. Keep it up, my friend Ryan in Phoenix. Thank you, Ryan. Great to hear from a radio listener. Luana is checking in. Luana. Hopefully, you know who you are. Says, what kind of music do you usually listen to? You're awesome. Hugs from Brazil. Lately, I've been going with a lot of alternative indie rock lately. There's a few good FM stations here in Florida 1019. You know, that's a good one. 1041. They play a lot of good alternative indie stuff. Otherwise, I've just been going on YouTube. P.S. You want to listen to music on YouTube? Best way to do it. Forget about the music videos. Always try and search the name of the song and then topic. Just put the word topic after that. Doesn't matter what the song name is. Doesn't matter what it is. But I guarantee you, if you find the auto-generated topic page for the song on YouTube, the audio quality is probably the highest you can get on this site. So, you know, you want to get some good quality music. Again, just type in the title, the artist, and then just throw in the word topic after that, and that's how you can get usually the highest quality, you know, version. Sometimes it's hard to find, and you're going to be finding these songs that have only like 10 views on the topic page, but man, it is worth it if you really want to hear everything in that best clarity. Hold True is checking in, says, do you work out every single second, man? I'm lifting weights right now. You know, that's why you can't see my arms, because I'm just lifting them. And yeah, 50 pounds each hand, going all out. You know, 24/7, always doing something. And in the wise words of Chop and Steel, working out the delts, the traps, the plaps, and all the major muscle groups all the time. Let's see what else we got here. Brandon is checking in. Says, love the radio show. Here's a donation to another year of great broadcasts. I'm getting my radio soon, and if you haven't already, could you play The Surgeon by Infected Mushroom on the show? Well, Brandon, if you could you please send me an email at vorwinfo@gmail.com, and could you please forward your music request there? Because if the super chats, it kind of just gets lost there. But what I always try to do is I always try to just have a like a little folder where I put the pending requests there, and you know, just try to send me an email there so I can finally just get it on track, and maybe you'll end up hearing it in an upcoming broadcast if I can just go and you know, arrange to get it played. Let's see what else we got. Grace is checking in. Hey dude, just wanted to say hi. I hope you have a happy new year. P.S. Any new stuff you hope to review / talk about in 2019? Well, really just any new releases on the fast food realm, whatever's coming out. You know, people just like the pizza, the big name chains that are, you know, you know, just getting any big releases. So yeah, any big names that are out there. Otherwise, I was going to try to do a few random videos, a few stuff for fun. And then also one thing that I want to try, maybe we'll get some other people, you know, guests on the channel. Who knows, you know? You never know what the future holds. And aside from that, really want to keep the radio show going. Sadly, we're starting the year off with a deficit, of all things. But hopefully we'll be able to get the airtime paid off, taken care of, and just stay on those, you know, stay on those good shortwave stations and get out to that international audience. And, I mean, ideally, this would take thousands, so, you know, it's one of those things that I'm not having high hopes for. One day I hope to get a shortwave broadcast going to Africa, because in Africa, you got to remember, the population is massive, and in many countries, shortwave is still listened to, like, we might listen to AM radio, you know, so it's huge. There's still an audience there, and one day it would be an absolute pleasure to be able to share my, my radio program to really just the African continent. Just get a good high-power transmitter and just beam it in, and hopefully be able to just provide some insight and entertainment for the worldwide listeners. Alright, JX Frey is checking in. Hello to you, sir. Joe J says you should do a Wawa review. May very well. Cameron Dressler says, could I get a shout out? Shout out to you, Cameron. Thank you for writing in. Let's see what else we got. JX, he's got a lot of stuff to talk about. All right. Well, JX, you've been acknowledged, and I see you. I see you. AT checking in. Oh, it's great to hear from you, AT. I haven't heard from you in a long time. I'm glad to know you're still listening. I haven't forgotten about you. Glad you still like the show. Hannah is checking in, says, big fan. Jack Vanderpool says, Sunday at noon loves you. Well, I don't know what Sunday at noon is, but thank you. Thank you very much. That's Supreme Meme. There comes to a point where I just find some memes, if you even want to call it that, just distasteful. And with that, you're blocked from the channel. Chase is checking in, said, can you try Whataburger? Chase from Texas. Again, that's one of those places that just isn't available in my vicinity. I know if I do end up traveling a bit further north, I might be able to get to a Whataburger, and from there, maybe I'll do a review of it. I know Whataburger is huge in Texas, so yeah, you never know what the future holds. We'll just we'll see what happens. Let's see what else we got. Jasmine is checking in. Hi, Jasmine. Precision English. I'm still lost. I don't understand. Says Sandra meant which platform is safest. But I don't understand what those letters mean. I know YT, doesn't that mean YouTube? But what is the other ones? I'm totally lost. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be, but I'm lost. I'm sorry. It's just one of those things. It's like it's bouncing off of me. Like the VORW shortwave broadcast bounces off the ionosphere every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Promotional. Let's see what else we got. The ghost of Karl Marx is checking in. Could you give my friend Mel a shout out? She loves you and your videos. Absolutely, shout out. Matthew, why do you never answer my prayers? What if I don't want to answer them? You have to just explain it concisely and clearly. Otherwise I don't want to be like sometimes where you get the genie in a bottle that just kind of screws you over, and you say you wished for this and they just they take it literally and they mess with you. I don't want to be that guy, so you just have to be a little clearer next time, and that's all that there is to it. Sam from Videos with Sam said White Castle review. White Castle is great. Whenever I'm up in New York, I'll go to the White Castle. Unfortunately, down here we only have Crystal Burger, which I can't say I'm a fan of. So there are no White Castles in the vicinity, but they're always good. They're always good. All right, what else do we have? Let's see. B. Mercer, you'd make a good character actor. Ever thought of pursuing that? I mean, maybe. I don't know. It's one of those things. I'm not going to say no to it, but it depends merely on the circumstances. So that's what I'll have to say there. Logan Purdue wants to know how long has this been up for. So far, not quite, but close to an hour. We started this at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time. The current time is 10:09 p.m. Eastern Time. Not quite an hour, and then we'll just see. We'll just keep it going for as long as I want to keep it going. Anyway, Brian Sofa King says, love the food review. Stay warm. I am. That's why I got the cardigan going. And let's see who else. JX Frey writing in once again. One of the most genuine YouTubers out there. Just started listening to the radio show. Thank you for keeping me going on my long drives, brother. It's my pleasure. My pleasure. It's always great to hear from radio listeners, and yeah, just glad you're enjoying the show. That's what I do it for. James writing in, love your videos. Have you tried Wendy's new maple chicken sandwich yet? I did. I actually did a review for it a few weeks ago. It's one of the newer videos. Not quite. You maybe have to search back a tiny bit, but it's there. It's up there. So yeah, I tried it out. I'm not going to blame this on Wendy's, but after I ate it, I was sick for about a week and a half. Terribly, terribly sick. I don't know if it was because of the sandwich or something else. I'm not going to blame it on them. I don't really know. But just, keep that in mind if nothing else. Justin and Karen in Silicon Valley. Donation challenge. We will match any super chat donation up to $100 in the next 5 minutes. So the challenge right there from Justin and Karen in Silicon Valley. Nonetheless, even if no one matches it, you guys are awesome, and thanks so much for all that you guys are really doing to help keep this going. So just thank you so much, no matter what. Right now, you're watching the live stream, the last video I'm going to be doing for 2018. This is the online equivalent of open phones. We are just taking your comments and miscellaneous feedback and questions. You could either just shout it right there in the chat. Of course, a great way to help out the radio show with the airtime and, of course, this YouTube channel is by doing the super chat. Really easy to do, and it's number one. It's a way to just get your message out there, your shout out, your question, whatever it is, helps this channel out too. It's really just the definition of being mutually beneficial. Helps me out, helps you out too. It's there if you want to, and otherwise I'll still just try to make my way down the chat. We have the slow mode on to try to just avoid any spamming, and with that we continue. William writes in, I just came back from a deployment at McMurdo Station in Antarctica, where I had enough bandwidth to hear your radio show. Your insight helped me during some lonely times. Thank you. The report of the week. That's incredible. If you're dead serious, then we've heard from listeners on every single continent. That's incredible. I never thought I would ever hear from anyone who had ever been in Antarctica, but well, there you have it. Wow, we've the radio show has officially reached every single continent now. That's incredible. It's so awesome to hear from you, William. See, it's things like that that just make this radio show so fun, because you just never know who you're going to hear from, and that's the best part about it all. Voxel checking in. Hello to you. Jasmine also writing in. You should check out a band called Ocean Alley. They're an Aussie indie rock band, and they're my favorite. My boyfriend is at their concert today. Indie rock, yeah, I'll check them out. It sounds right up my alley. I'll see if they have a sound that's good. Emily, shout out to you. Akemi, have a Happy New Year from a supporter from Japan. Great to hear from Japan. Hello to all of you out there. Happy New Year as well. David writes in, says, well, we just lost your... All right, here we go. It's incredible. I was thinking about you on my way back from the store, buying soda for my rum, and thinking about the shortwave I want to buy, and here you are. Yeah, here I am, and yeah, if you need any shortwave radio suggestions, again, send me an email, VORW@gmail.com. Got a nice list of them there, and if you don't want to go through that, you could find out my Amazon affiliate program, the influencer page, whatever it's called, at amazon.com/shop/the report of the week, and I have probably about a few dozen shortwave radios that are up there, and you could pick through any of them. You want a cheap one, you want a higher priced one, you want something with the hand crank, solar power for emergencies, whatever, we got it all. External antennas too to help for reception. Just a good place to hook you up and get you set up on the shortwave radio medium. Brand, to answer your question, I do not. I don't even know what that is. Zero Rush 91. I don't know what that is. I'm not even gonna. I don't know what it is. Sure, you'll get a shout out, but I don't know what. I'm not gonna give my thoughts on something that I have no idea about, because I don't know what I'm getting myself into. JX Frey checking in again. Peace out to you. Ryan says, so, brah, what are your New Year resolutions? My New Year resolutions aren't to have any, honestly. No, no resolutions. The reason why, and in my next radio show I'm going to give a lecture about this, because really a New Year's resolution is it's a fancy way to say I have a goal, right? I think that the only time to set a goal, especially for yourself or your business or whatever, is when you're really feeling it. When you have that sincere urge and desire and drive to accomplish that goal. Don't set yourself up for a goal blindly because that's what everyone else is doing. Oh, well, all my friends on the whatever, insert social media platform here, are setting up New Year's resolutions, so I gotta just, I'm picking at stars, I'm just gonna pick something out here and, try and do that. The thing is, though, that it's an insincere goal, and it may not necessarily be reached because it was really something that's forced, and then you might kind of, you might beat yourself up later when it doesn't get met, because it's just one of those things that when there's no true drive and you kind of feel like it's forced, that's the thing. There's just I don't believe in it. Set a goal or a resolution anytime you want, but just make sure that it is something that you truly are committed to and not something that you want to do just because everyone else is doing it. So my New Year's resolution is not to have one. My goal, on the other hand, is to just try to have a successful 2019, have a good year, and just try and make sure everything with the radio show is paid for, set up, and hopefully even with the possibility of expansion. Thank you for your good question, Ryan. Really good topic there. That monitor cord says, do you plan on making more YouTube VORW, or is that MIA for now? I'm going to get on a tangent, so please just stay with me here. I want to talk about this for a minute because it's a serious thing. A lot of people, I think, don't, and I get it, viewer, listener habits, they are what they are. I think a lot of people don't, and maybe it's my fault, who knows. When I say radio show, maybe that's why I screwed myself with that. If I just call it a podcast, that's something else, but I have a feeling that even the word podcast is not an accurate representation, right? Because it used to be a podcast, all right, yeah, it's just audio only. Nowadays, if you want to set up a podcast, the hell with audio. It's got to be video, it's got to be in a studio, it's got to be in 4K HD with a $15,000 microphone and, all that. And otherwise, it ain't a podcast, right? That's the way that it is in 2018. So I'm kind of in this. It's a radio show. No one wants to listen to a radio show. And it's a podcast. It's giving people an inaccurate representation of what it is. All right. Nonetheless, I'm off the soapbox there. The thing that I wanted to talk about is that I do the audio thing, right? I call it a radio show because it goes out on radio. But I do it on SoundCloud, and it really is YouTube VORW 2.0. I mean, the last show, only like 1,000 people watched it on SoundCloud, and, I talked for probably an hour and a half, which is about the same equivalent as what I used to do on the YouTube. I've been doing the talks more and more, but, no one checks it out. But that's not going to stop me. I have that drive. I have that passion. Like I said, the radio show is my favorite thing to create. And people just have to know that the radio show really is YouTube VORW 2.0. And if you want to check it out on SoundCloud, and I just posted it right there, you can check it out. Look, you don't like the music, you don't want to listen to that BS, that's fine, because you can skip through it. But otherwise, there's lots of talk, and, if some people are saying that a podcast could be, then it is a podcast, and it's there on SoundCloud every single week for you. on demand, hundreds of shows there, but that's where it went. It never stopped. It just kind of evolved a little bit, and it changed platforms, but it's still going. And some people will kind of give me a little less for saying that I gave up and I quit, but it's still there. It's still going. Ben wanted to say, does he have a bruise under his right eye? No, that's just I think that's just the way the lighting is, because I have behind the camera I have these fluorescent lights to brighten up the scene. I kind of have one going that way, one going that way, and then one straight down. I think it's just the way the light is reflecting. It kind of gives a little bit of a shadow. Manny Rodriguez just said in regards to the radio show, so what do you tend to talk about? I talk about anything. Literally. Actually, lately I've been taking listener requested topics. I'll say, well, what do you want me to talk about? Write me and I'll talk about it. And that's what I've been doing. In the last show, I was just kind of talking about the economy. And, when the Dow Jones looked like a heart rate monitor going crazy, I was just talking about that. I did a year in review, was talking about just how the year was for the YouTube channel, for the radio show as well. And then the show before that, I was just giving random thoughts. I was talking about how to avoid procrastination, talking about horror movies, opera music, and everything in between. So I just talk about anything, really. Speaking of, this is a good place to stop, like I was saying. And yes, I'm going to read your super chat, Feebucks, if I'll get to it. There's just lots I got to work my way down, but we'll get to all of them. I just, sometimes things escape my mind, so that's just why I want to talk about this now. Here's what I got for you. Next week's radio show is it's gonna be a fun one. And if you want to get a head start on it, this is what I got planned. And I think it's gonna be like a 2-part program, but I want to have a lot of fun with this. You see, I was listening to Coast to Coast AM the other night. And they were playing an old show from the early 2000s, but it was a lot of fun to listen to. And it made me think, every show has its own audience and its own listening base that is unique to each and every program. And what they were doing was predictions for the year 2002, because this was an old show. Well, what I'm going to do next week is I'm going to ask my listeners, what are your predictions for the year 2019? What do you predict? And that's what we're going to do. Like I said, every audience is unique, it's different, and we're going to have a lot of fun with that. So I'm just giving you a little preview of what's going to be coming up. I'm going to be giving some miscellaneous lectures, but I'm going to be asking people, what do you predict is going to happen in 2019? It can be dead serious, could be a joke, could be anything, right? And just write to me. You could do it right now. Look, you can get a head start on the game. What do you predict is going to happen in 2019? You can send me an email at vorwinfo@gmail.com, and if you want, you could even record a sound bite. If you want to have your own voice heard on the airwaves, literally around the whole world, you can record a sound bite of your prediction. Preferably, something to the extent of on a third-party site, maybe on like the VORW or any of that. It's up to you. But hopefully, what my goal is anyway, is to get these predictions, the more the merrier. I am hoping, if we want to have a successful show, hopefully at least several dozen, maybe more. Even if it's in the hundreds, that'd be awesome. And get all these predictions set up, lined up, and I hope to have a broad range of things, some people that'll predict World War III, and then some people that are just going to predict that everyone is suddenly going to start eating pineapple on pizza, and everything in between. And then in the show after that, we're just going to go through them. I'm pretty much just going to serve as an impartial moderator, and it's just going to be just an awesome, really fun show. Just like what Art Bell used to do many years ago. As I said, each show just has its own audience, and I know the audience for the radio broadcast is very diverse. So my goal is just to make it a real fun show, and you know, something that's just gonna be a lot of fun. So my idea anyway, and even if you're not a fan of it, it's a weekly show, so then you could just tune in the week after that. But every show, I just try to keep it diverse. You know, a little bit of talk, a little bit of music, and again, you got any predictions? Want to send them in early for the radio show? I'll say the email once more: vorwinfo@gmail.com. All right, now let's get back to your super chats. It's also a good way, of course, to help out this channel, help everything out, and get your question, comment, or shout out there and highlighted to the masses that are watching. Let's go and let's see what we got now. Alphonsus BB checking in. You do think that, and you know, how have you been able to be good form? Keep up the good work, and you too, love you, fashion idol, Reviewbrah, wicked stellar, come to Boston. Feebucks checking in. I made us get married on The Sims. Thoughts? Well, congratulations, I guess. Sandra checking in. Oh, okay, so that's how it got cleared up. Does Patreon have a reliable certified authority? The Patreon, it is safe. It's one of those, it's very safe, and that's why I use it, you know, because sometimes you have these donation sites or, you know, whatever, they'll take this out of it, and, you know, you kind of get a little, you just get a little nervous or whatever. And, yeah, the Patreon is safe. That's why I use it. So if you do want to help out that way instead, it is safe. No worries. It's a good way to help out the channel as well as the broadcasts. Brandon checking in. What was your favorite newly introduced food or drink item of 2018? Also, my buddy Chris introduced me, so shout out there. Hey Chris, shout out to you. Well, the favorite one by far had to be, let's see, the nacho fries from Taco Bell. That was awesome. Nacho fries, hands down. We're getting low on water, so we're going to add to the water supply. I promise you that this isn't vodka or anything. It's just water. What brand of water, you may inquire. It's on the bottle. It says it's great value, purified drinking water in bottled form. We're going with that. We're going with it. I tossed the bottle because that's just so dramatic, and that's what people like to see on live streams. Alright, let's see what else. Well, Huff28 was kind of asking the same thing. Said, what was your favorite fast food item released in 28? Well, that's kind of the same type of deal. Yeah, the nacho fries from Taco Bell were great. Zach checking in, what are you doing to bring in the new year? Not much, honestly. Just going to be taking it easy with those I love, care about, and just going to have a good day. That's all that there is to it. It's not like I'm going to go on a bender and get absolutely plastered and do something ridiculously idiotic or anything like that. I'm just going to have an easy, laid back, hopefully happy day. This viewer, Wisteria checking in. Happy New Year, Reviewbrah. Have a great year. Thank you. You too as well. Who else do we have on the super chat circuit? Let's see. Hey John, assuming you have one nearby, you ever thought of reviewing Pollo Tropical? It's my favorite. Happy New Year. Oh, totally. That is something that I'm going to aim for to get done in 2019. Pollo Tropical is great. They're awesome. They're an awesome chain. I can't give them enough praise. Yeah, that's one thing, honestly, for 2019. I'm gonna try and get more of those Pollo Tropical videos or reviews, because I've never really done any of them before. So yeah, gonna get one of those in. Doc WWO checking in. Jakey Boy Jumpsuit Shout out to you, sir. Sam Cohen writes in, please give a shout out to Brooke B. Shout out to you, Brooke. Who else have we here? Let's see. Paul is, actually Paul and Suzanne in Savannah, Georgia, wishing a happy new year. They said, did your folks have an issue with you consuming so many energy drinks when you were a little bra? Well, here's the interesting thing about that. My caffeine consumption didn't really ramp up until I was a bit older. So in 2011, when I was first starting out, it was really just, once a week, just the energy drink to, to do for the channel. I didn't start consuming the copious amounts of caffeine until later on. So it's not like in 2011, when I was first doing the channel, I would make the energy drink review, and then I would just bust open a 6-pack of Red Bulls and just guzzle them down one after the next, and do any of that. That's not what I was doing. So, no, I always kept it in moderation. Jim, hi Jim, he says, love what you do, thank you, sir. The Derby Moore writes in, says, I love your demeanor, you are a great YouTuber. Well, thank you kindly. Aaron C. says, thanks for being authentic. Well, thank you very much for your kind words. Mandy is checking in, Reviewbrah, I appreciate you, keep up the great work, thank you very much. Justin Karen in Silicon Valley, thank you very much for your generous support. They said close to $50 donated, so we'll match with another 50. Please accept this 100 to support your hard work. Well, thank you very kindly, Justin and Karen, for your support. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Great to have you here. Dark Link checking in. Hello to you, Dark Link. Oliver is he has a question, and we'll answer it. Why not? First, want to notice Joseph Ma. He said, "Notice me, senpai. You have been noticed." So there you go. All right. Anyway, back to the question from Oliver that I wanted to get to. He said, "How do you define a fulfilling life?" To get a little philosophical here, just a little bit. In my opinion, anyway, and this is just my 2 cents, I think the purpose and meaning in life is for you to define it, to give it purpose, to give it that meaning, whatever you feel it should be. So as a result, in regards to fulfillment in life, in my opinion, fulfillment is subjective. Like, what would you define as fulfilling? You ask people, and you will get a huge variety of answers. You'll get some people that'll say, getting a good job. You'll have some people saying, being a millionaire. You'll have some people that will say, I want to look good, or I want to, they'll take it down and they'll say, I want to be in this socioeconomic circle, right? You'll have people that'll say, I just want to be happy, and everything in between, right? So, what do you define as fulfilling? And that's your answer. In my opinion, to have a fulfilling life is to just have a sense of happiness and contentment with life, with yourself, and in my opinion, that's having a fulfilling life. Because money doesn't equal happiness. Does money allow you to get things that could possibly make you happy in the short term or long term? Yeah, but money is not everything. You can have tens of millions of dollars and still be depressed, miserable, and that's, so it's all subjective, and you gotta keep that in mind. Anyway, we were on our little philosophical soapbox there. That guy checking in. Can we send in what we're hopeful for in 20? Well, you could send in anything that you want. You can, if you would like, in regards to the radio show and the email, you can make a prediction, a hopeful one. So you can say, I hope that this will happen in 2019. That still is defined as a prediction. It doesn't necessarily mean that a prediction has to be negative or off the rails or anything like that. So, yeah, you could send in, you could send in, yeah. Again, the email to do it, VORWINFO@gmail.com. The radio show where I'm really going to be plugging that out and doing all that isn't going to be airing until Thursday, so you're just getting a head start on this, but I'm just hoping to make this a fun show. Okay, let's see who else we got. This guy sending in a super chat with a comment, wanted to just say your Why I Wear Suits video really gave me the courage to wear different clothes in public. Thanks, Reviewbrah. Thank you for your kind words. That's what it's all about, and I applaud you for just going out there and wearing what you want to wear. So kudos to you, my friend. Sip of water. Going in. Gone. Logan Perdue says, love listening to your radio shows. It really helps me pass the time. Also love the food reviews. Keep up the great work. Glad you like all the content. Trollita. Notice me, senpai. All right, another one. This individual, you are a treasure. Any chance we can get you on our show as a guest? Well, I usually don't really do the, too many collaborations, and I never mean that as any, some people take that as insult or anything, or like that, but that's not the case. I'm just a very, I mean, like, even, I just have severe, like, even before I started this live stream, I got the stage fright. Some people wouldn't believe it. They'd say, "Come on, you've done like 1,000 videos and 100 and whatever radio shows, and how could you still get nervous before doing this?" But it's what happens, and it's just how our minds are, how we are, how even the just the chemical balance in our brain is, and but look, there's no harm in sending an invitation. See what it's about. I can't guarantee you anything, though, and that's just the honest answer. I do not want to give people promises that I cannot make or keep, even if it doesn't sound like the thing that they, would really want to hear. That's just the honest truth. I don't want to, just lie to someone just because it sounds good. I can't give you any guarantee. Alrighty, let's see what else we have going on. This individual says, if you were to wear a hat with some of your suits, what hats do or would you wear? Well, right now I just kind of have this straw Panama hat that I will wear on occasion. I actually was breaking it out in the Time Traveler video, so I was wearing a hat there. What, back in the day, this is going back to 2011, 2012, I used to wear hats a lot more. I had it wasn't really a fedora hat, it was a trilby. It was a trilby hat. I had a trilby hat I would sometimes wear with the suits. I had a bowler hat, black bowler hat, would wear that as well. Had a, what's the name of it? It wasn't a Panama hat. It was a straw boater hat, one of those. I would sometimes wear that. I even had a top hat, though it wasn't a silk top hat or a satin one, sadly. It was one of, but it was still a topper. Still wear that. And, yeah, I would sometimes, I don't wear the hats too much anymore, though, maybe it's something I'll start breaking out a little more. I really do like this one straw Panama hat that I do have in my possession. Alrighty, who else do we have that's checking in? Let's see. Doc WWO, will you be rooting for UCF on Tuesday during the Fiesta Ball? I'm not a big sports fan, but sure, I'll root for UCF, absolutely. Yeah, no problem about that. Daniel G, are you going to Hamcation in Orlando in February? I don't believe so. Here's the interesting thing, and I covered this in one of my my radio shows a little while back. A lot of people that listen to my broadcast on the shortwave may be amateur radio operators. I myself am not a licensed amateur radio operator. I'm a shortwave listener. You know, I even got the radio right here. Listen every day. I do the broadcast via FCC licensed stations, so I buy the airtime. It's not like I have a transmitter out in the shed somewhere and I'm a pirate station. I buy the airtime via these FCC licensed stations that broker it. That's why the cost so much. So I just listen and I do the radio broadcasts via that means. I am not a ham radio operator right now. Is that saying that I reject that? Absolutely not. I may very well end up getting my ham license one day, and if I do, you guys will know about it. Okay, let's see what else. Dark Link is checking in. Can you please give my gal Alyssa a shout out? We love your videos so much. Absolutely. Shout out to Alyssa. Let's see what else we have. Has Jack White influenced your life at all? Your timeless attire and mysterious manner reminded me of him, an idol of mine. Wish I had more to send. Jack White is awesome. And if you've never seen this video, I recommend you check it out. You know, it's one of those things where now maybe you've seen it already. Maybe that's why you were asking. But I did the this video where I reviewed his album, and I forget, it wasn't quite a year ago. I think it was in early 2018, but it was called like Pleased to Meet You, Jack White. Again, I'm bad with names, but the yeah, where they contacted me, and yeah, Third Man Records say they wanted me to review their new album, and it was awesome. So yeah, it was that was great. Yeah, Jack White. I have nothing bad to say about him. He's an awesome guy, an extremely talented musician at that. Let's see who else we have. Lightning's Crib. Love the videos. I do competitive arm wrestling, and your videos calm me down before an event. Also, shout out to Lil Homium. Very well then. This individual, Trollita checking in again. YouTube rewinding not including you is a crime. Well, I didn't expect to be in there, because again, you have to remember, when it comes down to the YouTube rewind, it's not like someone is just making a compilation of videos, and they're just taking the clips and you would be getting an invitation to it, and you'd probably have to fly out to California or whatever. So that never came in. So I mean, I knew very, very well in advance that I wasn't going to be in the YouTube rewind. But whether I was or wasn't, it just, I don't know. It doesn't bother me at all. When it's like it's one of those things. So what that I wasn't in it? That's completely fine. Okay. Let's just see who else is checking in. Right now we've been going for about an hour and a half. Pleased to be here live on the YouTube with all of you, and really appreciating your questions, comments, feedback, and comments and super chats as well. Just a pleasure to be doing this. So let's see. Neo is writing in so nice. Painting and hair. Are you talking about my hair or the hair in the painting? Either way, thank you. Let's see what else we got. Okay. Back to a few super chats that we still have to get to. Maria is writing in. She says, I'm really glad having known you this year. Your radio show is one of the best things on the internet. Please, everyone, give it a chance. Well, thank you very much for your kind promotion. I really wish the same. I think it is something everyone should give a chance, but I'm not going to force someone to listen to something they don't want to listen to, but if you're kind of feeling it, check it out. Shared Eagle, have you ever been to the state of Alabama? No, I haven't. You would think Florida, Alabama, it's so close, but no, I've never been. I've been to Georgia a couple times, but never Alabama. Maybe one day I will, though. Oliver checking in. Thank you, Oliver. Derek Lee, right, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, Derek. I really appreciate your contribution, and I just hope you have a wonderful New Year and a most prosperous 2019. G3K, would you ever be willing to do a meet and greet? Again, that's one of those things, you know, I'm not going to be taking it off the table, right? I'm not going to be saying absolutely not. I would just have to see how I feel. Sometimes the anxiety, it's just one of those things. It would have to have a lot of planning beforehand. Never say never is really my my policy. So never say never. Don't know what's gonna happen going forward, and yeah, that's what we got. Neo also said, could you please talk a long time about something insignificant? Isn't that what I've been doing for the last hour and a half? Unknown File says, hey Reviewbrah, did you dye your hair? I did actually, believe it or not. I dyed it purple the other day, so you can really, if you're kind of looking at the, right there on the couch, the little squares with the purple in it, I tried to get it to be about the same color as that, so I think it's really just shining through, and I worked really hard on that. I was trying to just do 2 for the price of 1. I wanted to do a face mask, do a little exfoliation, get the, skincare going, and I wanted to dye the hair purple at the same time, so I did, and we got 2 for the price of 1. So thank you for bringing that up. I was surprised no one else did, but yeah, I'm glad you noticed. Thank you, sir. Few more super chats coming in. David from Houston, love the radio show. Hope you're doing well. I am. I'm doing well. Thank you, David. And I wish the same upon you. The screen didn't freeze or anything. I'm just in disbelief. Formerly crippled. Reviewbrah, how's your bib? I don't know what that means. I mean, I guess it's there. What is forget. I don't even know what bib means. All I know is like a baby's bib. Like if you're eating a lobster dinner. I'm not even gonna go there. This listener goes by the name What You See. Says, thanks for the radio shows. Happy New Year from Bill. Happy New Year to you as well, Bill. Gavin checking in, thanks to you championing shortwave radio. I myself have began to explore it. What radio do you recommend and why? And where do you go to get airtime? Alright, well, since the feedback is kind of slowing down, I'll talk about this for a few moments anyway. My personal recommendation for shortwave radio, and again, you can find this at my Amazon influencer page, because I have them all lined up. I have rows of them. Amazon.com/shop/the report of the week. My personal recommendation is the one that I've been using since 2014, the Texun PL660. It's a portable AM/FM shortwave radio. If you live in Europe, you listen to the long wave, you can pick that up there too. Also picks up airband, and that is my personal recommendation, the PL660. It's a little expensive, but it is it is an incredible radio. If you want to talk about a piece of technology that is built to last, that is it. The poor radio, I've dropped the thing so many times by accident, and it is the most durable radio I've seen. Comes with rechargeable batteries, battery charger. It's just so effective. Awesome radio. I would really recommend that radio. Of course, though, I know not everyone can afford it. I get it. So otherwise, the Texun PL380, and mind you, as I'm saying this, some people think that I'm saying Texan, like from Texas, but it's Texun, Tecsun. It's a Chinese company, but the Texun PL380, it's still really good, but it's for about half the price, maybe $50. And otherwise, the Texun PL310 ET is another good one. When it comes down to shortwave, I have brand loyalty, I'll admit it, just because Texun is that one brand that's worked out best for me. It's just, it works out great. Of course, though, there's some cheaper radios. If you wanna try something out, you can try the used to be called the Tivdio, but then I think the brand changed, and I think it's called the Reticus V115. It's about $20. It's not going to be the greatest radio in the world, I can guarantee you that. You're going to have a struggle picking up some of the more distant stations, but for instance, like if you try to tune into the strongest frequencies, like if you're in North America, you try tuning in on 5850, though on the radio it would be 5.850 or 4.840 WWCR. You'd be able to hear the strongest signals, but it's just not as sensitive as some of the other ones. On one quick note, where do I get the airtime from? There's going to be groups out there. Let me take a sip of Coca-Cola. I wish this was a sponsorship. It's not. The PL880, that's pretty good too. There's going to be groups out there that say that they are airtime brokers. Like if you email them or contact them, right, they will get you the airtime. Do not go with that, because what they're going to do is they're just going to be charging you another fee for something that you yourself can do and don't have to worry about. All right. Contact the radio station directly. Okay. You could find their websites pretty easily. So, like, if you want to find out, get some airtime from WRMI, right, just go to WRMI.net. Or if you want to get airtime from WWCR, just go to WWCR.com. Or any other station, just even search them on Google, find their website, WBCQ, WINB, KVOH, etc., etc., etc. And you just email them. Email the station manager. You could find their email on the site and say, look, I want to do a radio show. Tell them essentially just how long it's going to be. So, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, how often you want to do it, and what the program contents are going to be. So, if, let's say you want to do a music show, then say that. Or if you have a ministry, you want to do a religious show, say that. Or if you want to just do political talk, or anything, just miscellaneous, whatever. Just let them know, and then they'll give you that airtime quote, they'll hook you up, and that's where it goes. Now just keep in mind, some stations are going to be cheaper than others, so you just got to remember that. Give me one quick second. Dear viewers, I just want to check something. But really, that's what it comes down to. It all comes down to that. And the reason why I wanted to talk about that to the extent that I did is because I always do. Shortwave is one of those mediums that if you do it right, there's still an audience out there, and I think it does need some more good programming out there, to be honest. All right, I'm through with that. No more. And let's go on to some more super chats that I think came in. I think a couple of them. I thought I saw a few anyway. So let's see what we've got going there. But anyway, because airtime is expensive and it adds up. That's why if you ever listen to my broadcasts, the one thing that you hear show after show is I sit there crying, for donations, because it adds up. It's a weekly program, so of course it's a recurring payment and it's one after the next, and so you just got to be smart about it, and that's why these super chats help so much. All right, Dylan, check it in. What's your all-time favorite fast food item? Now, every single time this is asked, I always give the same answer. Even though it's not there anymore, I always go with the Cheesy Bites pizza from Pizza Hut. They bring that thing back every now and then, but that thing is, that thing is amazing. I remember the first time I had it, I was a kid. I think they were airing the Old Ads. I don't even know. Was it with the Muppets or something? But I remember that pizza was amazing, and I've been a fan of it ever since. And every time they bring it back, it's great. Joseph Vasquez says meow. Meow back to you, my friend. Kathy Perez, Happy New Year. Happy New Year as well. And, yeah. How is your hair so perfect? Well, the answer to that is very simple. Super glue. John Allen is checking in. He says, I want to get a drink with this guy and eat pizza. Thank you for your kind words. Kirk Brown just says 50. All right, 50. Wacky Tacky Joel says, YouTube Rewind was so effing terrible this year. What's your opinion on this? Well, I already kind of talked about it earlier on in the show. You could probably skip back and find it. Well, really, I am not as strongly opinionated as many others are. Where I kind of was just like, it is what it is. I could understand, though, why so many people were upset with it. Because they wanted to see something that they didn't get. So I could understand that frustration. I tried to put myself in the shoes of someone who maybe was really upset about it. That you really wanted to see a certain thing or just have it done a certain way, and you didn't get that. So granted, you're frustrated as a result. Otherwise, I mean, I don't really keep up to date with that, so I kind of I watch it and I was just like, well, this is what it is. I'm going to try and scroll up real quick in the chat here, because there's something that really, I'm sorry, well, alright. I couldn't get the name, but I saw the message. He wanted to know why my eyes are so far apart. Now, this is a secret, but I feel, alright, we're approaching the last days of 2018. I'm gonna let it out. I'm gonna tell you a little secret. The space in between my eyes is ever fluctuating, and it all depends on mood. Like, do you remember years and years ago? It was kind of a short fad, but mood rings, right? Anyone remember that? You'd put it on and it would kind of turn a certain color, allegedly based on how you were feeling. That's a real throwback. Kind of like that. Depending on how I'm feeling, my eyes will either get closer together or they will get further apart. And some days, if I'm really upset, I measured it once, they were 3 feet apart. Can you believe that? 3 whole feet. Now that is extremely rare, doesn't happen very often. Usually, like on a day-to-day basis, it kind of moves back and forth by a couple of inches. So probably by the time I started this stream to right now, if you kind of just check a little bit, they might have moved maybe a little further apart by about 1.5 inches if I had to just take a guess. But that's the answer to it. So I hope that was able to help. It was something that I really didn't feel comfortable talking about, but I said, all right, that hell with it. It's New Year coming up. We're gonna give it away. All right, who else do we have checking in? I watches the Watchman checking in. If you were a professional wrestler, what would be your ring name, and what would be your finishing move? Well, I would have to say this. If I was a professional wrestler, and to be honest, I'm not really very fond of the pastime, but it is what it is. Let's just entertain the question. The ring name, of course, would be Reviewbrah, and the finishing move, I wouldn't really have like a single name for it, but what I would do is I would sit there and I would say, I would kind of look up and say, my disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined, and then I would kind of body slam the guy after that, and that would be probably my signature finishing mood. But I am not one for any of those types of undertakings, but if you forced me to, and I really wouldn't want to, that's the first thing that popped into my head anyway. Alright, what else have we here? Alex Williams checking in. What are your best tips for self-improvement? The first thing that you have to understand, and this is something that I could really go on for a very, I could probably lecture for an entire hour on this, and I know in radio shows I have, so I'm just going to keep this a little more succinct than I would like, just because we do have a lot of things coming in, Alex. I hope you understand. is everyone's situation is unique, okay? And everyone's life is unique. So as a result, the issues that are, whatever, that are facing you are really going to only apply to you. Now, as a result of that, you have to just, because the thing with like self-help guides and books is that they take a very generalized approach to it. You just have to remember that your situation, it only applies to you. Different people handle things different ways. And one thing I don't think is suggested enough is sometimes if you are in a situation, and this could be anything, that you feel like you're trapped in, you don't want to be in, you know, sometimes if you're able to, sometimes just getting out may very well be the best thing to do. If you know, your acquaintances or whatever, you feel like it's as detrimental on your life, sometimes even if you feel like a little nervous, like it's not something you would really want to do, sometimes just getting out and starting new could make a whole lot of difference. But it all depends on your circumstance, your life, and everyone is in a different place right now. You know, for me, in my life, I'm right where I want to be. I'm with who I want to be, and you know, everyone's life is just different, and different circumstances and solutions there too apply. Again, like I said, I could go on and on, but let's get to a few more super chats. Simon B checking in, first donation ever. Thank you, Simon. Great to hear from you. Gioberto YH checking in. He says, can you say Gio? I love you, cheers. And then the parentheses and the 2 dots after that. William, he says, wait, do you have an amateur license? No, I don't. I'm sorry if I got my words jumbled up at all. I do not have an amateur radio license. I'm a shortwave listener, but I do not have an amateur radio license. But it's nice to hear from a ham operator. We get many reports from ham operators each and every week, and hope you could tune in on the shortwave for this upcoming broadcast. Shadow Guard checking in. Just says, could you do a quick shout out to Becky, Serena, and Ma for me? They're watching right now. They never miss an episode. The 3 of you been shouted out. And Dylan also says a follow-up question from earlier. What is your all-time least favorite fast food item? Again, this was asked earlier on in the program, but the least favorite one ever was, again, it was that artisan chicken sandwich from McDonald's, but it was due to the fact that it was just prepared inadequately, and it was like just a piece of rubber on a bun. It was the only thing that was actually totally inedible. Like, you know, the even the grilled stuffed nacho. Alright, you could eat it. I didn't like the way it tasted, but if someone, you know, threatened me and said, you know, you're done if you don't eat this, of course, you know, yeah, I could shove the thing down my throat and I could eat it. But this chicken sandwich from McDonald's was inedible. It was like a solid piece of rubber. I could not eat it without dying. I would die if I tried to eat it. I couldn't. So it is utterly impossible to consume. So that's where that comes in. All right, let's just get to a few more, and then I think we're going to start winding down a little bit. Let's see a few more. This guy goes by the name Anti-Communist. Do you invest in cryptocurrencies, like Basic Attention Token, Litecoin? Do you recommend any? 2019 looks to be the year. Man, I wish I got into Bitcoin early. I knew about it, didn't have any money to invest, you know, like 5 years ago, didn't have anything. Now, of course, you know, it is what it is. Personally, you know, with the economy, what it might be looking like, you know, it might be a turbulent year. You know, maybe crypto will take off again. I know it had its ups and downs and all that. John Smith, this is a controversial one, but I just do want to get this. You know, the Patreon, it did take a big hit over the last month, because certain creators who had opinions that not everyone agrees with, you know, were banned from the site. and a lot of their followers left with them. So we lost a ton of supporters on the Patreon, and the only thing that kind of bothered me about that was just if you felt strongly about something and you were going to quit the support and quit using the site as protest, it just questions the sincerity in regards to just general support overall, and I hope you could understand. For instance, if you wanted to support, help keep the radio show going, but you disagreed with whatever it was that Patreon did, you pull the support entirely and don't help out at all after that, well, of course, it's going to take a big hit, after that. So that's why I always do provide alternate means to help out. Of course, you have the super chats like right now. Also, I still do the PayPal and all of that. So, it was a big thing that happened earlier in the month where there was just a lot of protest and a lot of people left. One moment again, dear viewers. And, that was just my phone. The battery is draining. It said it's down to 5%. We're running out of juice. But that's fine because I'm not streaming this on my phone. I made that mistake about a year ago when I did the first. Don't even get me started. The first live stream. I tried to stream on my phone, right? And the feed kept going out. So then I decided, all right, I'm just gonna go and start it up again. And then that didn't. I started it up again. And I was doing this at 3 a.m. Well, I didn't realize that a whole bleep ton of notifications were getting sent out to all the people who were subscribed at 3 a.m. So after I checked it out, I lost like 2,000 subscribers because so many people were just so pissed off that they were getting this notification 3 times, 4 times for this live stream that they're sitting in bed trying to sleep, and they're just saying, F this, I'm done. I remember that day, the first time I ever tried to live stream, people were not necessarily satisfied. I think the folks that watched it enjoyed the show, but those who weren't interested, needless to say, didn't. Kirk Brown, thank you for your support, and it's a pleasure to answer your question. Gavin says, so helpful, the radio is on the way. Thanks, brah. And Ryan had, he said, is it just me, or does In-N-Out taste like gas station White Castle? No, I respectfully disagree with you, Ryan. I've only had In-N-Out burger once. And, yeah, I've only had it once. Back in, it was 2016. And I was out there in Los Angeles near LAX after the Tosh.0 film shoot, and yeah, we got some In-N-Out. I thought it was delicious. I thought it was better than White Castle or anything, but you have your personal taste. That's totally fine. You can like what you like. All right, I'm gonna be wrapping things up soon. Just gonna answer a few last ones. Your boy Brandon is checking in. He said, I hope you have a great and relaxing new year and stay clean. Thank you, Brandon. I remember you from previous streams. Great to have you here still. This guy says, will you ever review the Fortnite burger from McDonald's? I don't even know what that is, nor, just personal suspicion, I don't think that the staff at McDonald's will know what that is either. So, that's us. Jorge wanted to know, what are you drinking? I'm drinking water with a plethora of ice cubes in it. So that's what we got. Let's see what else we got. I'm just going through. Evan Lowe says, would you ever consider getting a bespoke suit? I'm just satisfied with what I have now. You'd have the Instagram, suit emperors, and just the menswear, pros who, of course, would collectively take a on the way I dress, and that's fine. Let them all. I wear what I wear, and I'm happy wearing it, and that's all that there is to it. Dustin just says, I'm just happy to be here. Thank you, Dustin. Happy to be here, too. Christian just said, hey, John, love the videos. I was wondering what your favorite album of 2018 is. You know, maybe I am biased, because a lot of the music that I listen to, you got to keep this in mind, isn't from 2018. As I said, I've been listening to a lot of alternative indie rock, probably from the last 20, 30 years or so. A lot of 2000s, you know, mid-2000s, early 2000s, and then all through the 90s. That's what I've been listening to the most. 80s, 70s, classic rock thrown in there too. So I listen to a lot of older music. So the newest stuff I don't really listen to much. Maybe I am a little biased, but the one thing that I really do have to say, and I did think it was just an awesome album, Boarding House Reach from Jack White. I gotta say, that was just a great album all around, great diversity in the music, and I just loved how artistic it was. And I just love seeing that creativity just flow out there. John said, may we set up an auction where you will go on a date? Absolutely not. No way. Not happening. David checking in also. I am ongoing spiral of continuous creation, never stopping. Try 5850 or 4840 kilohertz. 5850, 8 p.m. every Thursday. 4840, 8 p.m. every Saturday. All right. Well, I think I'm gonna start wrapping it up soon. We have, I think, 4 more super chats left, and then we'll just see what the chat in general is saying, and then I'm done. I'm ending the show. Jackson Bera checking in. What kind of music do you listen to? You know, we actually just covered that in the last question, so I don't think I need to reiterate myself there. Well, thank you for your insight, anti-communist. Let's see. Lennon checking in. Hello to you. Simon B. Will you ever review the Sandsburger from McDolland? I would presume that that's a meme. I would just have to guess. Sans what? You know. All right. Well, I'm gonna end the show. I think I'm gonna wrap it up now. This stream has been going for the last 2 hours almost. We started it at 9. I'm just looking at the clock. 9:15 p.m. Eastern. It's 11:12. When the clock hits 11:15 p.m., the stream is over. I'm shutting it down, and it's done. So with that, all that I have to say is I hope you all have a pleasant, wonderful, relaxing, healthy, and safe New Year. You could have some fun on New Year's Eve. Go to a party, have some fun. But please don't do anything stupid. Don't drink and drive. Don't do anything irresponsibly irridiculous or ridiculous, and you know, wind up behind bars to start off 2019. You could have some fun, but please put yourself in a good, safe spot in this new year. I just hope you all have a wonderful 2019. On a final note, again, if you want to rep the Reviewbrah merch, you can check it out. We have a special 19% discount, limited time only for the new year. You can find it teespring.com/stores/the report of the week. But this is only like a special link that has the code activated in it. So we've got that in the pinned comment, the description, and also try and get it in the chat here for you. So check it out. Again, a little short on cash, something to check out. Also, be sure to check out my radio show. Put a ton of effort into it each and every week for you. You can find it at SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/VORW_radio_INT, and more info on that in the description. Keep in mind, for the next radio broadcast, we're looking for some answers to this question: what are your predictions for the year 2019? We want to hear them. VORWINFO@gmail.com. Stay tuned for the YouTube channel. We got some videos coming up for you, some new reviews, and also you want to keep supporting. You can find us at patreon.com/ the report of the week. With that, dear viewers and listeners, I bid you farewell. Thank you, take care, and have a wonderful, happy, healthy new year, and let us just all the best for 2019. Thank you. Do take care. I hope you enjoyed this live stream. We'll have another one coming up for you in due time. Until then, take care. That is all. Happy New Year.